Welcome back to Walker Guitar. My name's Corey, and we are now doing technique work. Yes. So, not really. But what I'm going to do in this little lesson, I'm going to condense most of the basic techniques. So, hammer-ons and pull-offs, slides, bending, and vibrato. So the four main ones that really start to sweeten up the guitar sound, things that are very unique to guitar, that just make it rock. The fun stuff, the stuff that for the most part takes the most work to really get solid and sound good. So this is a little mini lesson on those four topics and how to start approaching them. So I hope you like it. What is vibrato? Vibrato is the shaking of the note. It gives the note energy. It's not a flat note. The note, it has movement to it. Some is fast, some is slow, some is very, very subtle, some is very wavy, like the 80s. So there's a lot of different types of vibrato. It's very expressive. It varies from player to player. So there's two types of vibrato. There's finger vibrato and there's wrist vibrato. With finger vibrato, you're using the finger to actually pull or push the string and then return it to center. So if you're going to do, let's say you do vibrato on the 7th fret of the G string, that note, and the general concept is that in this case, I'm going to push a little bit upward, and you're using, if you do finger vibrato, you're just using your finger to push the string up and back. Now, for modern playing, everything but classical playing, in other words, when you do vibrato, you don't want to be gripping this way. You need to have a grip that's over the neck this way. And the reason for that is as you're pushing the string up or you're pulling the string down, you have to have a solid connection over here. So you need to be able to sort of sandwich the back of the guitar neck between the crook of the thumb and the base of the first finger. So in this case, I'm picking a note. I'm picking the 7th fret on the G string, that note there, and my third finger's got that note. This is one of the most comfortable notes to start vibratoing with for just hand form. And so for my hand size, I'm around the 5th fret with where I'm gripping, and my third finger comfortably falls there. So for the most part, as you vibrato, if you use your fingers, sometimes you kind of have to, based on the lick and the positioning, is that you would be pushing with the finger and then returning, and just slightly for now, and you return back to the original pitch. You don't want to do this. There's a common thing where people will push it and then return it, but pull it underneath as well, as if they're trying to recreate, like, the sound wave, kind of, doing this wavy thing or something. Either way, if you push up, if you push up or you pull down, you get the same pitch. The pitch is only going higher, regardless. So you want to basically pick one way and learn how to repeat that process very evenly. So the best way to start doing this is pick your 7th fret note, bring it up a little, and just release it back to pitch. Make sure the thumb is over the top. You don't need to be fretting anything, but it needs to be supporting the weight of the hand, so to speak, if your hand was loose. So you want to be able to sort of swivel from here like this. So with finger vibrato, the wrist isn't really involved. You're just pushing, bringing it back. I like to use any available fingers behind it, if at all possible, to support this. If you use one finger, the finger's very weak. It's going to be wobbly. You're going to get a wobblier sound. You're not going to have as much control over the note. So I like to put all my available fingers on that string. It really does depend on the scenario, but that's the general idea. Now, wrist vibrato, and this is kind of one and the same with this particular grip, to be honest, but wrist vibrato is where the whole wrist starts to move, where you're actually locked back here, and your wrist is pretty straight. I consider it, I equate it to almost turning a doorknob. Is kind of the general idea, where your arm maybe has a brace or a cast on it and you can't move your wrist this way, is that you're swiveling like this. And so that's the general idea, is you're connected here and this becomes the center. So this part is in a semicircle. So as you push up and release, your wrist is really supporting and powering your fingers up and back, and your fingers are just resisting the string tension